Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm planning with this Miss and Meow kit, Home for the Holidays. It is super cute. I love the deco sheet, love the gingerbread men. It is a kind of fun twist on a traditional kind of Christmas colors. You've got the red and green, but mixed with kind of pink and a kind of yellowy, like a pale yellow. So yeah, it's super cute. Again, love the gingerbread men. I'll put down my headers in full boxes and be right back. So I am back and I am recording this again post-Christmas. This spread was intended to be a memory spread of my Christmas spread, but the problem for me with memory spreads is that I always forget what I ate and like my tracking. So sometimes I'll like leave a meal section in my planner, but I just like forget to write down the meals. There are some weeks that we just don't plan ahead very well. So I can't write them down if we haven't planned them. But yeah, and then if I don't write them down, I'm like, what did we eat? And, you know, my boyfriend's like, I don't know. I have no idea what we ate. And I'm like, what did we eat that night? You know, it's hard to imagine that you can just like forget what you ate. Especially when it's usually at the end of the week I'm recording these and I should really remember, but I don't. So yeah. So I mentioned in my other video that I was going to talk a little bit more about my holiday. And yeah, I said in the last one that I had a great kind of craft gift exchange. It was a great holiday. I would say overall it was a kind of a strange Christmas, I think, compared to other years. Any Christmas in like pandemic times, I think is going to feel strange. So for one thing, it's like normally around Christmas, I would have like a kind of Christmas dinner with my friends in addition to either spending time with my family or my boyfriend's family. But this year it's like the friend group chat is, you know, so quiet. It's very silent. I would say even if it wasn't like a Christmas themed dinner, it would be like a dinner just because we're all off of work and we like finally have time to see each other and hang out, and it's just very quiet this year. I did see a friend of mine who traveled from out of town. She lives in Texas, and we had an outdoor dinner at this restaurant that I'd gone to with my sister before, and it was great, but like it's so unusual compared to past years. I feel like this is just kind of, you know, normal now, I guess. It was also kind of a strange Christmas because my one of my sisters has COVID, which it was like, whoa. And she talked through her symptoms where she had taken a PCR and was negative, and then took a rapid and was negative, and then took a rapid and was positive, and like it was just, yeah, very like, oh crap, you have COVID, and she's by herself. Also, my sister was supposed to come, my sister who lives in New York, and she was exposed to someone who was positive. And, you know, I promise I will finish with the COVID chatter super quickly, but she decided not to come because she's like, I won't be able to get a test in time. If you all have been watching the news, New York is like completely overwhelmed with testing. So many places are, not just New York, but I mean, New York for sure. And that's something I know about kind of firsthand with my family. So she didn't come, so I didn't get to see her this Christmas. So she was alone. And my other sister was alone because she tested positive. So it's kind of a weird Christmas. Next year, I have said that we should all do something like what we did for Thanksgiving this year. So Thanksgiving, my mother and my siblings and I were all in Chicago with my sister who lives there. And it was really, really fun. And I decided not to go to Chicago for Christmas because I was like, oh, it's a lot of traveling. But, you know, I ended up really missing my family, like a lot. I just was like, I want to be with my people. So anyway, that sounds sad, but I think the time we did end up having was good. I mentioned in my previous video that I had just gotten my booster, so I was kind of getting over feeling a little bit worn out and tired because of that. But we drove to see my boyfriend's family, and we had a good time. We kind of sat around and talked. I haven't seen his parents in a while. They're getting up there in years, and given that I do things like go to the gym indoors, even though I'm fully masked, and I go see my therapist in person, also masked, I have been like being extra cautious, and so just haven't been seeing them, you know, just to err on the safe side. So it was good to see them because I hadn't seen them in a while. And we basically just, talked about everything, talked about working in tech. We talked about like what it's like to have time off at the holidays when you can't really go anywhere. We actually missed the family walk with the dog. So they're big walkers. They're huge walkers. I think they walk every day, multiple times a day. Big hikers, but also walkers. And so we were pulling up and I was like, is that them and the dog? So we had missed the walk. It's been raining a ton in Northern California. So we were delayed because of the rain. But normally we go on like a family walk, and their neighborhood is really, really beautiful. Again, Northern California, lots of nice houses, lots of nice lights. So we had dinner, and again, I think I said it in my other video that they are vegan and gluten-free, but they let me have fish this year, which was great. Boyfriend cooked the fish. We had salmon, which was pretty good. So I'm always amazed at the like amount of vegan and gluten-free things that are out there. And I get exposed to all these options when I go over to their house because I just kind of don't think about it. I'm not gluten-free. I'm not vegan. So I just like don't even think about these things really, but they're like, oh, we have some vegan turkey, like, and it's wrapped up kind of like a Wellington. If you all know what a Wellington is, it's like beef inside of a baked kind of covering. So they had that, like vegan turkey inside of this baked covering. And I tried a piece. It wasn't bad. You can definitely tell it's not meat. Here's the thing about meat alternatives. And after they say this, I'll get off my soapbox. I think they work if you go into it being like, I'm not eating meat and I'm not trying to like get the approximate experience of eating meat. But if you're going into it being like, I'm hoping this will taste like meat or, you know, animal protein or whatever it is, then you're going to be disappointed. So I usually go in with vegan food, honestly, with my expectations on the floor. It helps me not be disappointed. But yeah, that actually tasted not too bad. They had some vegan stuffing, which was all right. A baked sweet potato, which was really, really good. And salad and fruit salad. I'm not a big fruit person. I'm much more of a vegetable person. As a kid, I used to eat raw vegetables like no problem. Didn't really care about them. I used to eat like raw cauliflower. And my mother was like, I never understood why as a kid you like this. I don't know. I like vegetables. It might be a texture thing. I like really, really crunchy vegetables. And like dark leafy greens, that's totally my bag. But yeah, not so much into the fruit. So I skipped the fruit salad. But the dessert was like the pièce de résistance. His mother had made this, what she calls gingerbread, but it's really a gingerbread cake. Because when I think of gingerbread, I think of like the stuff that goes into gingerbread cookies. So it's like kind of a harder substance, but it's much more of a gingerbread cake. It's a soft cake, and it was so good. She made this cake, I think, 2 Christmases ago, and I've been asking her for the recipe and asking her to make the cake again, and she hasn't done it either. But this time she actually dug out the recipe book and gave me the recipe. And she said, hey, you know, I make modifications to this to make it vegan, but, you know, you might just want to like follow the recipe, because the recipe originally was not vegan. And this is one of the kind of few things where I'm like, I wouldn't know this was vegan if I didn't, you know, if someone didn't tell me. Like the cake just was so moist and delicious. It's sweetened with molasses, and not like refined sugar. So, yeah, again, gluten-free, vegan, super health conscious, but it's really good. And she only made 1 cake, and I got to take the extra slice home because they know I like it. So I am looking forward to having a piece of that cake tonight, and I'm just probably going to cut it in half in case boyfriend wants to have some, or I might not share. Hey. Another awesome thing about Christmas is that my boyfriend bought kind of like stuff to make homemade hot chocolate. So like the real chocolate that you kind of like heat on the stove. So he made a test batch, and I don't know where he got these instructions from, but he got some instructions off the internet that is like, add salt to it. And I know that people add salt to sweet, like in salted caramels, but like hot chocolate? Are you kidding? So we put salt in the hot chocolate, and you guys can guess what happened. It was not good. And I'm like, what did you do to this? He said, well, they said to put in salt, and I think I put too much. I was like, don't put salt in hot chocolate. We just don't, you know, I know that this is a school of thought. I am not with it. The whole adding salt to make things taste sweeter, that just doesn't work for my palate. I feel like it never works. I don't like salted caramels, and I don't like salt in my sweet. I like sweet in my sweet. So yeah, so we redid that. We're going to redo that rather. And it is going to be, I think, much better because I will be the chefnista in charge of. So that is the spread. Again, love this Miss Meow kit. It was so great and cute to work with. Message me or comment if you have questions about the stickers or anything like that, or catch me on IG, and I will see you all next time. Bye.